Are you looking for a complete life change? A creative beginning? I know I was, and it did happen. Like a switch. Today we will delve into that old cliche. Today is the first day of the rest of your life, and we'll give it some real practical weight. Cliche or not. Hello, how are you? I'm very new to this, so just please forgive me. If you don't know me, I don't know why you would. I'm Eva, I'm a 31-year-old mother, and I'm starting from the beginning and seeking abundant creativity in spite of my mind, my money, and my time. Join me. I don't want to be alone. So, complete life change is possible in the right now point. It's a point that is revelatory and revolutionary. It's also ridiculously elusive. So I won't pretend this is some easily acquirable perspective, because, well, I've wanted this sort of perspective my entire adult life. But I was fearful, avoidant, and depressed for most of that time. But that's a story for another day. What I'm trying to say is that we're here on this video because we want our life to change. And it's really not that simple. And maybe it is, I don't know. All I can do is give you some context to the birth of my right now point. Abridged though, because I think there was more to it than what I'll say here. But let me be clear, this complete life change isn't that complete. I still live in my 3rd floor rented apartment, slightly grubby, in need of some refurbishment perhaps, in a pretty bland area. You know, it's not very aesthetically pleasing. And I still have to go back to my part-time retail job in a second. This change is fully on the inside, but that is what I've been wishing for, like I said, my entire adult life. Almost a year ago now, I gave birth to a brilliant little girl. Pretty creative of me, I suppose you could say. I knew then that I couldn't continue living the life that I was living, which was vague, without any passion, without any real life living of life. Something had to change. I want my girl to be happy and confident and creative, fearless and discerning, things I wouldn't really describe myself as, but I can't promote what I don't practice. Another cliche. Oh, you can't practice what you don't preach. No, that's not it. Practice what you preach. And underneath all that, deeper again, my weak ego is probably at play. I mean, it is at play. I don't want to disappoint her, for her to think I didn't try, that I'm passionless, weak, unaspiring, afraid. All number of things that we don't want to be in most people's eyes, especially our children. So she is, for the most part, the fire that's been lit under me arse. There are other things that have led to this point, I'm sure, and I'll talk about them another time. But yeah, it took pretty much exactly 9 months postpartum for this to fully gestate into my right now point. And I mean, suddenly the switch went. A whole new life had suddenly begun. But, you know, that's not a reason to go having loads of babies. They also do take a lot of your time and your money. Perfect as they are. What is it that's got you looking for this complete life change, this creative beginning? I think it's a question we should dig into. Why? Once you're digging into it, I suppose it might help you understand if it's worthwhile, if you even need a change, how weak your ego is, how desperate you are, and who you're trying to impress. Am I projecting? Yes. But anyway, beyond picking your subconscious apart to reveal the mold that's eating you alive. It might align you with the drive you need to make this a permanent and ever-growing change, ever-evolving, complete life change. I think we all know those flame bursts, those ones that die out as quickly as they came about. The right now point is not one of those. It's a point of creation, not one of change. It's a creation of a new life. The old life is dead, it's gone. It's non-existent almost, at least its effects are. There is no change, perhaps a death and a rebirth. But nonetheless, it is a renewable, fuel-fed fire. It's not some petrol fire on some concrete somewhere. It's a creative way of living and thinking, even in just the act of beginning this new path, this new way of being. You are activating your creativity. It's not a few life changes that you make to bring you out of a shame spiral. Shame is the worst motivator. The worst motivator. It's bankrupt. It's a false economy every time. Here's an exercise. Just imagine this, okay? Just ruminate on this, please. Not once, but whenever it comes to your mind, over and over again for the rest of your life. Imagine you are loved so intrinsically by a universal force. If you don't believe in God, then just pretend you do. Or call it the universe or whatever you want to call it. And remember that it is a miracle that you, as you, are here at all, and choose to believe that it's thanks to this universal creative force. And then remember, you'll die. And how and how boring and even disrespectful it would be to that creative force that made you if you didn't live out your life with whimsy, curiosity, creativity, and courage. And yes, I know that is all basically you only live once. Another cliche. But cliches are cliches for a reason. After I experience my penny drop, the big switch, the right now point, I remind myself often that I'm not important in the grand scheme of things. It's so big. So why fear? That's whimsy. And then I remember that I'm also not insignificant to the people in my life. So why not create for the people close to home and further abroad? That's courage. Contemplate your fire, manufacture it if you have to. This is all about creativity after all. Let it inspire you, not force you into it. I mean, it won't work anyway. This is a creative and imaginary, but very real point in time in your life where things stop existing that affected you before that point. And nothing of any worth will exist after it unless something begins and or ends now. If you're still here with me, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Tell me what your fire is. I know I'm not alone in this craving for a complete life change, for abundant creativity, and nor do I want to be. Remember, everything that I'm doing, that I'm learning right now, all is as a beginner. So your input is truly valued. I will be honest with you about my struggles as we go along this new thing, because it is still hard for me. I lived my entire life not feeling good enough, so I did nothing. I did nothing with my life. And if you relate to that, let's just stop. We can't do that to ourselves or to the people that love us, that we love. Let's comfort each other in this world of sharp edges. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. But for now, right now point,